For Trump's opponents is to make sure they have support from delegates once they're allowed to vote for their personal choice. And it's happening right now in Texas. Remember, back on Super Tuesday, voters gave Ted Cruz 104 delegates in the Texas primary. Donald Trump received 48 delegates and Marco Rubio 3. KXAN political reporter Phil Prazin shows us how the Cruz campaign is trying to get the delegates pledged to their opponents to switch allegiances.
On the third ballot, all bets are off.
T.J. Scott first voted Republican when he voted for Richard Nixon. He's running to be a delegate to the national convention so he can have a say on what the party stands for in the platform. But first, he must win the job at the state convention in 2 weeks. And his #1 promise is he'll vote for Ted Cruz as soon as he can.
If they don't want me to go up there and support Ted Cruz on the third ballot, then they won't vote for me. But these aren't new rules.
48 out of the 155 Texas delegates will have to pick Trump for the first 2 votes at the convention. If Trump doesn't have the required 1,237 votes, delegates can then vote for whoever they want.
These are not just the average Joe six-pack off the street. These are people who think about politics all the time. They breathe and eat this all the time.
Scott Braddock from the online political newsletter The Quorum Report has covered the last 5 state Republican conventions. Scott says TJ is an example of who the Cruz campaign wants in Cleveland.
And so there are a lot of people who are maybe angling to be those Cruz guys or gals if there is a second or third ballot.
It could be a Cruz coup at the convention, and delegates our state sends could be the deciding factor for the nomination.
Anything can happen, and all kinds of tricks can be played between now and then.
Phil Prazin, KXAN News.
Texas Republican delegates for the national convention will be elected at the state convention in Dallas, May the 12th through the 14th.